General Assembly meeting to order. Today is November 8th, 2010, 12 p.m. noon. I will now allow for everyone to overlook the minutes of the previous weeks and also take an adoption of this week's agenda.
Motion to adopt. Second.
All right, taken care of. That's for last week's. Can I have an adoption of this week's minutes?
Motion to adopt minutes. Second.
Wonderful. All right. So now we will continue on with the agenda. We'll have a call to order. We'll have a roll call, starting with. Let's see, who I want to start with. Start with Eric and work our way back down and continue over to our guests. Senator.
Eric Mimbari, Senator.
Hui Sun, Senator. Teresa Arredondo, Senator.
Rick Gaki, Senator.
Josh Hall, Senator.
Samuel Chabu, Senator.
Victoria Shaw, Senator.
Jeremy Walsh, Secretary.
Amir Blazade, Parliamentarian.
Corey Parrish, President.
John Kohler, Vice President.
Amir Chalian, Treasurer.
Alicia Nichols, Senator.
Gina Galindo, Senator.
Chris Rapus, Senator.
Rochelle Hodges, Senator.
Alex Royani, Senator.
Thank you. Mindy.
Mindy Kinnaman, Advisor to Student Senate. Karen Miller, guest.
Ben Edwards here for the Autism Spectrum Support Group.
Shaker Passion, guest.
Wonderful. With that said, we will now continue on with the first item of our agenda. The Autism Spectrum Group will now come to present their case to the Senate. I'll now pass it over, yield the time to the Vice President. Mr. Vice President.
Today we have Ben Edwards. He's a representative for the JCCC Autism Spectrum Support Group, and as well as Karen Miller is here to help. You can just stand right there.
Hello, my name is Ben Edwards. I am the founder and leader of the JCCC Autism Spectrum Support Group, and I have been leading this group since spring of 2010. I got started with the help of two people, Sean Swindler and Deb Camps from the Kansas Center for Autism Research and Training. And my goal was to provide a place for comfortable social activity for JCCC students on the autism spectrum, and a place for them to have sort of a voice on their own on issues concerning them. And we also are here to sort of, be a place where people can learn about the autism spectrum disorder. And our activity over the past year, we meet 3:30 to 4:30, and we have activities such as bowling and laser tag, and we've also had music and game nights, and we've seen movies. And alternate Thursdays, we get together and plan for these things to make sure everyone can come and join in. And our group usually consists of a lot of JCCC students and also a lot of nursing students who are peer mentors, and they're kind of like a counselor. They're there in case anyone has, some kind of problem, and that students can also schedule some kind of meeting if they really feel there's some kind of issue that's too much for them so far. And well, and we've been going on for the last year about, and I think that would be, and the peer mentors, are also here to get experience as, as serving people on the autism spectrum in our general public. And I think that would be all. And any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So is the overall point of this group to help those individuals on campus who have autism or who have family members with autism, or both?
Generally people with autism, but we'd also be open to helping people with family who have autism and family, friends, any sort of close relationship. Thank you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Answer your question?
In which ways could the Senate help further put you and give you a greater awareness around campus in any way whatsoever?
We were hoping that with your help, we could become an official group in order to help get the word out about this group a little more effectively.
Do you have any examples of any of the kind of activities that you guys are going to be doing to try to help?
Yes, we are going to have like social activities such as we have a music night coming up and a game night, and we will soon be seeing the 7th Harry Potter movie.
And I think that's only chapter 1 of the 7th Harry.
Right.
I didn't know that. I thought that was just all one movie, so I'm
Right.
excited for the rest of the chapters with you. All right.
Ben, thank you so much. Karen, did you have anything else to add?
Well, and one thing I think that Ben's group too is that every other week they meet and would like to meet on campus as a group. And I think at that point you meet more and talk about things that they can do on campus, maybe awareness that they might be able to provide to the campus too.
Yeah.
So they do social things, but they also would like to be a group on campus that could meet and be recognized.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you too. If I could now ask you to please step out for a moment while we discuss.
All right. Thank you. Okay, Ms. Michael.
So, I mean, does anyone have anything to talk about or any comments? I think it would be a great cause. I've personally known a few people with autism before. They're just so down there usually. So.
I think it's a group that's needed on campus, a group we don't have on campus, and a group that ultimately I think every single one of you should have no problem with initiating as a club here on campus. So, Mr. Senator.
At my job, I work at a children's theater camp. It's called Theater of the Imagination. And I've, worked with high-functioning kids who have autism and, low-functioning kids who have autism. I think it'd be definitely great to help them, find support, with problems that they face having autism. So I think it's a great idea.
Right. Sam?
I know a lot of people look down on them, and I think if people see them as a group excelling leadership positions and doing something, they wouldn't see them as different.
Change public opinion?
Yeah. I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really, really good reference, Sam. Very good reference. Anybody else? Well, we have more than 2/3 of from what the Secretary is telling me, more than 2/3 of the General Assembly present today, so then it's majority rules. All right?
So all those in favor of making this a club on campus?
That's everybody.
That was you.
We're good.
Any
Continue.
no's? Abstentions?
All right, majority rules. Either Senator Max or, oh, never mind, Mindy. Boss lady.
Thank you, Ben, for coming in. By the clapping, that means that you guys are now a club here on campus. So if there's anything further details you have questions for me, just feel free to contact me. And with that being said, you're free to leave if you'd like.
And if I could, just really quickly, welcome to the large family of campus organizations and clubs here. We're excited to have you. I want to personally invite you out on Wednesday, this Wednesday, November 10th, from 12 to 1 to our Student Senate Town Hall meeting, which is in RC 101B. And a whole bunch of our clubs and organizations come out, and they talk about what their clubs and organizations are doing, how they could help out other clubs and organizations. And I want to bring you into that and help you join that conversation. So we're excited to have you. We're happy that you're with us now, and anything that we can do to help you out. As the Vice President said, please don't hesitate to ask. And Mindy also has to add.
Yeah, and I want to encourage you, the Center for Student Involvement is your home now that you're an official organization, so please feel free to stop by. We can help you with planning events, scheduling rooms, and everything.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
All right. With the, we'll now move on to the next item of the agenda, but I'm going to make a quick detour because I think this is very important. This is a milestone. This is bigger than the 2012 apocalyptic happenings that's probably going to happen, because we have Pat in the building, and it's his 3rd consecutive meeting, really his 6th consecutive meeting, his 6th non-consecutive meeting. But I think that this would be a great time to hear from the former senator on reasons why he should be a senator again, and then for us to take this time to vote, as I also lost a bet with Andrew about him being here today. So we'll now turn it over to the former senator, if he'd like to come on up and he can state his case.
All right, state my case. I was a senator for a little over a year, and I liked it, but then I had like another job, and it kind of conflicted with it. And I have free time for it, so it's good. And I really enjoyed my time in the Senate, and I would like to get back into those shoes and become a part of the decision-making body at the campus once more time. Once again.
Great. So, if there's anything else? All right.
That pretty much sums it up.
Pat, would you like to step out for a moment?
Okay.
I know that you've been gone from this chamber for a little while now, so get you back in the swing of things. Thank you. All right. Any discussion on Pat? Senator, go on.
This is gonna sound ridiculous, but where is he gonna sit?
You're gonna add to it.
We'll throw him. I don't know. We'll figure that out. We'll have him sit back there for the rest of this week.
Seems pretty comfortable.
I think he likes it back there. He can hide away from everybody. Anything else?
Since he was in the Senate before, what were the committees he was on?
Pat was on. He was on budget for a little bit with the former treasurer Ethan Taylor. After former treasurer Taylor left and became vice president, Pat then moved over to service and fundraising. And there could be one more because we were required to sit on 2 committees at that time. But Pat, I can actually say, I know some of us up here know him quite well and very personal. But as a senator, he's probably one of the hardest working members of the Student Senate. He keeps you laughing, he keeps you going, and it's always a riot. And I think that's why I was so adamant about him coming back, because I don't know how these guys are going to do with jokes. But Pat's very hardworking. He knows when to joke. He knows when not to joke. And he's very caring and compassionate. He gives us a very vital voice here on our student body, on our student senate. So I think he should come on back home. Anybody else? All right. I will now take a motion to entertain a motion to take up an election process in making his seat official. Yes, second.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, all those in favor of Pat Costello becoming a senator once again? Oh, Lord Jesus, don't let him know.
Okay, that's all.
Any nays? Abstentions? All right, motion passes. And please invite the senator back in and congratulate him. Nobody comes. Pat, I'm sorry to inform you that you are now a senator.
All right.
Actually, Senator Hall had asked the question, where are you going to sit? Because it looks like a pool, but I would like for you to come around and pick your seat and bring a chair around and join us once again.
Okay.
And with that, we'll move on to the next item in our agenda, continuing on. I will now yield the time over to the parliamentarian and to the secretary for the Constitution ratification.
I would like a motion to revise the Constitution based on last week's DPA discussion. Second. We'll now move on to voting procedure. Those are who are in favor of changing the cover. No, just one. Okay. I'm gonna pass it to you. Okay. Those are in favor of changing minimum required required GPA from 2.0 to 2.5. Any abstention? Closing nays?
Congratulations, you all just made history.
Okay. I don't know if you guys got a chance to look at the email that was sent out, probably late in the week. We did go and do what's basically can be called a ratification of the Constitution. The number of changes that needed to be made in the Constitution to reflect our current practices and our future ambitions was not addressed in the current Constitution, so it had to be overhauled in such a way that qualified it as a ratification. Being as that it was a ratification, I don't know if you guys were aware of read the original Constitution, there is not a specific timeline in which this needs to be out in front of everybody before we can take a vote as to whether or not to approve the ratification. There was a concern Maxwell had brought up about some of the wording that when we rewrote the Constitution here about how to handle the voting as far as with the 2/3. We went back to change it to defining basically what a quorum is meaning is that we're saying by a 2/3 quorum, it needs to have 2/3 of the total population of the Senate present in order for a majority vote to count. That wording has then been changed. You guys have all received a document with a newly rewritten Constitution as well as a document outlining and highlighting the specific areas of things that have been changed. The only thing that is different from the document you guys received to what is different in the current Constitution as it's printed now was the fact that we clarified the wording after Maxwell and I had a conversation about this via email that was saying that we need to clearly define this, saying that with a quorum of 2/3 present, a majority vote would win. So meaning as long as 2/3 of the whole population of the Senate was present, we were allowed to take a vote in which the majority vote would win. So everything else other than that is basically just to get everything covered to where we're basically on paper documenting what our current practices are and what we're trying to do in the future. All of these changes that will be approved, if approved, on the Constitution would go into effect for the Senate starting this next fall of 2011. We're just trying to make sure that we get the paperwork done and out of the way and not have to be worrying about changing things back and forth in wording. So at this time, we wanted to open up to see if anybody has any other issues with the way that anything is written, and if we do, we can try to get this solved. If not, then we'll put this up for a vote and see, and if we get the majority vote on this to pass it, then we'll ratify the Constitution and be able to move on and not spend any more time on housekeeping issues. So at this time, does anybody have any issues with it? Okay, Maxwell?
Well, the way you wrote the Constitution, the way changes you guys are trying to make, it's not going to work. The Constitution is made in such a way that 2/3 majority is required of the Senate, not a quorum, 2/3 majority, which means a full Senate has 25 people, right? For you to be able to amend a Constitution, bring any amendments to a Constitution, you need 17 of those senators, not present, 17 of them voting for it. So the way you worded it is, if you have 17 people present here, and then 9 of them can pass up an amendment to the Constitution, which is something you don't want to do. This is a Constitution, it's not a bylaw. There's no country, there's no government that allows anything like that. So this is gonna be the first time. This is a Constitution. People who sat down and wrote this Constitution had thoughtful process on the terms and issues that were involved. So if you want to try and change what's already in there, you have to have at least a 2/3 majority approving whatever changes you want to institute.
Right, and that's what the wording is stating for amendments. This particular case does not qualify as an amendment, it qualifies as a ratification in which there are no specific guidelines as far as the voting on that.
Now, I don't see the problem with the original one, which says a fixed 2/3 majority.
Oh.
So you should leave it as that.
We changed it because the original was written when we had 5 members of the Student Senate, and is no longer really
Well,
relevant with 25 members.
It's still relevant, even if Senate is the same way. United States Senate, any country you go to has the same procedure. 2/3 majority is required to ratify or create any amendment to any constitution. You're talking about the Constitution. That's the laws that we abide by. It's not some law that you make. If you do that, what you do is similar. Somebody with an influence over 9 people can come in here with Corey absent or you absent or wherever he's absent, change the Constitution. That's what you're putting the Senate into. This Senate or future ones. So you can't really do that. If you have a 17 requirement to do that, then you have it's kind of a measure to prevent any Senate from passing misguided laws or amendments to the Constitution. So I would really oppose that. Anything that leads to changing that requirement, I will really oppose that.
I think it's more a matter of confusion. I totally agree with Maxwell, by the way, 100%. I think it's a matter of confusion with the word quorum. The word quorum means the number it takes to do something,
Right.
not, and if you read it, it says 2/3 quorum, in other words, a percentage of a percentage, and that leads to the number 9. So if it's straight 2/3, I totally agree with Maxwell.
2/3 I don't think that would be 2/3 of.
That's what
2/3
we're
of 25 is 9.
No, I'm saying the way you wrote it. I mean, the way you wrote it. I'm a political science pre-law major, so
The wording is saying that we need to have 2/3 of the total population present. In which case, if there are 2/3 of the population present, then the majority vote of those present wins. If you're not there for the vote, it's not like the vote's not going to be a secret vote on any of the things that are going to happen. It's not like anyone's getting cheated out of it. If there's a vote that needed to be done on a particular issue, everybody would obviously be informed well ahead of time to say that on this date there's a vote coming up. If you choose to not be present at that time and not have your opinion counted, that's your choice.
I totally agree with Maxwell that it should be 2/3.
The thing is, the way you wrote it, I'm a political science pre-law major, so I understand the wording you wrote in there. The way you wrote it, what it will imply is, if you have 17 senators sitting in any sitting, and then we have 9 of them majority, if you have 17, 9 of them is going to be a majority. If you have 9 of them voting for any amendments, it's going to pass, regardless of whoever the others are not here or not.
Right.
So basically, but the way we have the original one says, if you have a Senate, you have to have 17 senators. So if you have 17 senators sitting here, and one of them doesn't vote for any amendment, it doesn't go through. So if 16 vote for it, and the 17th one doesn't vote for it, it doesn't go through. You need 17 of them voting for it, which is that's a very good measure to put on something like an amendment to a constitution. Bylaws, guidelines, I would agree with you. Those are very small laws, housekeeping. But this is a constitution, this is not housekeeping. It's a constitution. It's the laws that we run by. So anything that goes to amending the constitution, you need 2/3 majority, period. Any government, any organization you go to, that's the laws that are in there. 2/3 majority. You don't want a situation whereby somebody, the officials are not here, somebody comes up with a proposal for amendments and then you have 9 people proposing it, and then they pass it, and then somebody comes back and say, whoa, that's not what we want. If you have 17, that's a big enough number that at least one of them will be logical. I mean, somebody will see, okay, this is viable or this is not viable.
It'd be like Animal Farm all over again.
Exactly. So
quite frankly, it would be
a
coup.
The original version should stay a fixed majority of 2/3.
I'm going to intervene here. Alex, do you have something?
I just have a question about Article 4, where it's talking about the 3/4 majority vote. What exactly that was, or if what exactly that was covering, because I'm familiar with the 2/3, but I wasn't sure what the 3/4 majority vote would cover.
I'll allow the secretary to have time to discuss that.
In the original Constitution, it had listed 3/4 majority under the attendance policy issue. Everything else was listing as a 2/3, and as far as approving amendments to the Constitution or any of those other things like that, those are all in a 2/3 vote. But when it came down to actual voting on dismissal due to attendance reasons, it came to a 3/4 to have a little bit higher percentage voting in favor of removal of the senator who had the absences.
So it's going from 2/3 to 3/4?
On the absent policy.
Okay.
Right.
I'm going to call this to a quick order, just very quickly. I will make this recommendation, and I hope I can have a second from, a motion from the floor for this, and then a second. I'm going to make the recommendation, Mr. Secretary, with your permission, as you yield time back over, and then to you, Mr. Parliamentarian, that we hold off on these, the rest of the articles 3, 4, 5, and 7 until next Monday, when we can work it out through committee and then send it back to committee. And when it's worked out in committee with conjunctions of the senators, we'll go forth the week after to further take those up in another debate and then consider them or deny them. Second.
Sounds good.
Second.
Mr. Parliamentary, I'll now take a motion from the floor.
Second.
Second motion. Table.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. All right. Well, that's taken care of. The like-spirited debates, I think that was good. It was like a family dinner all over again, so I'm very happy that we just had that. Senator, welcome back.
Oh, sorry I was late.
No. Welcome back. It's good to have you. We missed you last week. Next thing that we're going to do is actually something a little bit fun. We're going to go and do a Senate team building exercise. And we've never done one of these before, but it's going to be just a little different. So I want everybody to get up. Which side?
We're not going to do it just fall, are we?
Not this week. I think we're going to do that the last week of Senate. So if everybody can stand up, stay where you are, push your chairs in. If nobody wants to come join us, you're more than welcome to. Please, by all means, by all means. And I'm actually going to sneak through here quite quickly. Oh, Max, I'm sorry. All right. What? Okay. I want everybody to stretch out. There you go. Come on, golden boys, let's stretch. All right. Okay. Now, as we're stretching, I want people to start naming different qualities of a leader, of your favorite leader. Think about the leader that you admire the most, okay? And what I'm going to do is I want somebody to raise their hand, tell me the leader that they admire the most, and then tell me the quality. Keep stretching, by the way. Tell me the quality that you most admire about them, that you wish that you have or that you do have. Let's start with John. John? Not Hitler, John. Give me one. Yeah.
Shoot. I'd have to say.
We got to make it quick, though. You got to be very quick with it. It's all right.
Come back to me.
Okay. Not how we planned that. Amir.
I'll go with Ataturk. And I will say responsibility.
Responsibility. Do you share that quality?
I try my best.
You try your best. All right, Alicia, you're next.
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan. What quality?
Communication.
Communication. Which is going to bring us to the next part of this team building. Joseph?
Oliver North.
Oliver North. Oliver North.
Loyalty.
Loyalty. Very loyal to Ronald Reagan. Is that something? All right, Gina?
I don't have one, but I'd say honesty.
Honesty. I can give you one for that. Thomas Jefferson. Very honest man. Chris?
Theodore Roosevelt.
All right, because of the big stick?
Yep.
All right. Rochelle?
I don't have one.
You don't have one.
No.
Nobody.
No.
Come on.
Somebody relates to the public. Like.
FDR.
That was actually mine.
Okay.
Well, I got to think of a better quality than what he had. All right, go on.
One of them is
Keep stretching, everybody.
Otto von Bismarck.
There's a reason for it.
Otto von Bismarck.
Yes.
All right, what quality?
Dedication.
Dedication. All right, Zara.
Muhammad Ali.
Oh, what is it?
Fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Which is what quality?
Which is flying like a butterfly and stinging like a bee.
That's not a quality, but we'll go with it. Sam.
Martin Luther, determination.
All right, determination. Max.
Lincoln, rational and empathy.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Eric.
I'll go with Nyerere, and passion.
All right, Mindy.
Harry Truman making difficult decisions.
The buck stops right there, ladies and gentlemen, at that count. Pat.
Mad Lib creativity.
All right. Next.
George and W. Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Intelligence.
Great. Next, okay. All right. All right, we're doing it.
I don't know.
None? Boy, come on. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Yes.
President of Honesty.
Honesty.
Eleanor Roosevelt, confidence.
Confidence.
Martin Luther King Jr., hope.
Hope.
Perseverance.
Perseverance. With what person?
I forgot his name.
All right, next one, next one.
I don't have one, but good attitude.
Good attitude.
Schwarzkopf, resiliency.
Wow. All right, I'll give it to you. True. Hard work.
Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela, there we go. Do you have somebody yet?
Yeah, in the leadership program, Mark Johnson's pretty good guy. But
Right.
I think self-assurance is a good
Self-assurance, all right. Now, all of these qualities that you all just listed, all right, hold on. All these qualities that you just listed are important for what reasons, you asked? You're probably asking, why are we standing up, why are we stretching, and why are we doing this? I'm going to tell you why. Leaders, there have been interviews with numerous leaders, and they think best on their what?
Feet.
That's right. They think best on their feet. And they also get their best qualities when they are working on their feet. With what kind of people? Colleagues, all types of people, leaders around the world, okay? Here's another thing. Alicia made one of the very, very, very important qualities I was looking for, which was
Communication.
from
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan was incredibly effective, if not in anything else, with the power of communication. Why is communication so important?
Easy to get to people.
That's right.
To reach people.
That's right. You all can sit down, by the way, unless you want to keep being great leaders and think on your feet. That's completely up to you. That's right. It's important because you've got to reach the people. Is that right? What's another reason why communication is so important? Mindy.
Well, if you can't sell your idea, you're never going to get people following.
That's right. Joe?
It's a vehicle of change.
That's correct. Another thing I learned is that the most important tool that you have as a leader is what?
Communication.
Communication. Looks is good. You all are pretty good looking Senate. I'm not going to lie about that. But yes, communication. It's important because the most important tool you have is your own story. No one can tell your story like who?
Yourself.
That's right. See, this is what I like. Now we're working together. I like this. Thinking on your feet's good, so I'm glad I had you stand up. Yourself. Why can't anyone else besides yourself tell your story?
They're not you.
That's right. A person, now, why is it also important for stories to be told? If I was to come to tell you a story about my life and about my hardships, why is it important for you to go back and tell somebody else that story?
So I can share your ideas and your story with them.
That's right. Is there anything else?
Because it can make a change.
That's right. To inspire, to make a change, to resonate with people. Some of the leaders of our time have all the very qualities that you've said. And I think it's funny because all the qualities that all of you said, whether it was Mad Lib, are very much qualities that you all exert. The leaders that you named out were leaders that you all admire and you look after. And the qualities that they have are the ones that you want or that you do have. Am I right?
Yes.
Pretty freaky stuff, isn't it? Here's another thing. I'm going to say why communication is so important. Best leaders of our time. Name some of the best leaders of our time.
George Washington.
Okay, too many. What? All right, go here.
Schwarzkopf.
Schwarzkopf. Give me another.
George Washington.
Washington. Reagan.
Clinton.
Clinton. My boy. Anybody else?
Abraham Lincoln.
Lincoln. All right. I'm going to tell you why they're so great. More modern times, Kennedy. Reagan. I'll give you that one. Johnson. Churchill. Roosevelt.
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King. I'll tell you another one. Barack Obama. Tell you why. Now, I know because he's president right now, this helps. But all these people are great because of the way that they tell stories. They just don't tell their story very well, but they tell other people's stories very well. And when you hear other people's stories being told that sounds just like you what with the person?
Identify.
That's right. Identification. So we have communication, identification. Let's keep going on. We're getting somewhere.
You connect with the person.
You connect with the person. What else do we have?
Perspective.
Perspective. Perspective. That's right. Perspective. That's good. Respect. You're going somewhere. Josh said Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was a country boy from Arkansas, grew up in Hope. The story of Hope played a big role in '92 because it gave people what?
Also,
It also gave them hope. But Clinton also told stories about sitting in kitchens with other people, listening to their stories about how they were losing their jobs, they didn't know how they were going to pay the bills, which the rest of the country was going through at that very moment. So that then propelled him to be the people's what? Candidate. People's choice. Now, you may ask yourself, what's the question that you're all probably asking yourself right now? Why in the heck are we learning about this, right? How does it come back to us? How does it affect us? Somebody asked that question.
How does this affect us, Corey?
Thank you, Jeremy. That's what I was waiting on. I'll tell you how it affects you. We have a town hall on Wednesday. We have a Student Government Association Summit coming up at the first of the year. We have Photos with Santa, we have other service projects, and we have numerous of other events, not only with Student Senate, but with other places here on campus. Am I correct? Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, great. I couldn't hear everybody, so I'm sorry. Am I correct?
Yes.
Thank you. That's great. This is why it's important. I'm going to go to a club and organization today. I'm going to talk to one of their presidents. I'm going to talk to either the president, the vice president, one of their officers, or one of their members. I'm going to invite them to the town hall on Wednesday. And what are they going to say to me? John?
What is it?
Okay, never mind. Emir? Okay, never mind. Jeremy?
Yes.
What are they going to say to me when I ask them to come?
They will say yes.
Okay, never mind. I said they're too busy. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you. Thank you. Come on. They're saying they're too busy and that they don't want to come. And what's another big one that clubs and organizations and people always say on campus? They don't want to get involved because what? Commitment. They don't have time. But here's the biggest one. Here's the number one excuse. And I've used it a whole bunch of times too. It doesn't affect me. Nothing that you're going to do for me is going to help me. Now we know that's not true. But what I'm going to say is that that's not true to them. Because Queers and Allies came to us, Luna came to us, OBC came to us, Swing Dance Club came to us, Golden Girls came to us, hold your tongue. Who else came to us? International Club came to us. All these clubs came to us and they all found their niche there, am I correct? They all found their way that they could grow from this, how they could learn from this, how they could have their voice given back to them from this. And that's going to resonate with this club or organization that's this naysayer, because then they're going to come and see, not only do we have food, which we do, but they're going to come and see, wow, I too have my voice in this school again. And why, and how did I get them on board with coming once they say yes?
Food. Free food.
Not free food, but the same mentality and the same attributes we just talked about. Say it one more time.
Communication.
That's it. Communication. And telling what?
Perspective.
Guess what? In order to finish off this job of us being a Senate and finish off the job of our team building experience today, we're going to give that back to you. So, who's ready to continue doing this job? Anybody else going to keep doing the team building experience? Everybody's hand should be up, or else everybody's going to be in trouble. That's what I like to hear. All right, here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to challenge each and every one of you to go out. We have today and we have Tuesday. Town halls when?
Wednesday.
Town halls when?
Wednesday.
Town halls when?
Wednesday.
That's the other thing. You say something 3 times, you start to remember. Wednesday at what? Wednesday at what? One more time? That's right. So between now and Wednesday, I challenge all of you to get on the phones here at the school, get a directory, call your professors, call teachers, get them to come, tell them about it. And even if they can't come, you say thank you. You tell how effective it's been, but then you also say maybe you can tell your students. That's number one. Number two, you go to clubs and organizations. You either go to them through email, Mr. Vice President, that's what you're going to end up doing, right? Thank you. Go through them through email. You go to them in person. Or else, you go to their meetings between now and Wednesday. We got it? We got it?
Got it.
Got it?
Got it.
Got it?
Got it.
Great. The other one is, we have calls, we have emails. Everybody step up on your feet. Zara, let's do this one more time. Leaders perform best when they're on their what?
Feet.
When they're on their what?
Feet.
Their what?
Feet.
That's right. You perform best when you're on your what?
Feet.
Your what?
Feet.
Your what?
Feet.
That's right. And right now you're on your what?
Feet.
That's right. So, all of you can walk, correct? Yep.
Yes.
You all, nobody has bad leg problems or anything like that, right? Don't give me that excuse, one of you. So I expect for each of you to not only call, but not only to talk to them in person or email them, but to go with your feet, walk, perform as leaders as we do the best, and tell your stories to them and get them to come on Wednesday. And get them to stay engaged and to get them to stay involved. Because you think best on your what?
Feet.
That's right. And you go to school where? Here. That's right. And we have the best what? That's right. We have the best leaders in this place. So we're all going to get on our feet. We're going to go out. We're going to do what it takes to get the job done. We're going to get people at every single last one of our events. We're going to get people involved. We're going to keep them involved. And we're going to continue to do every single last characteristic and leadership trait that you gave me from one of your leaders. Continue to give that to them. So they too can one day stand on their feet, think best, and give us the same exact leadership attribute and leader that you sat right here today and gave us, and get other people to stand on their feet together to win the war. We're in a war right now. The war doesn't end until the end of the year. Let's keep fighting these battles. Let's keep strong. Let's keep focused. Let's keep going. Let's keep inspiring people. Let's keep being inspired. Let's keep giving hope. Let's keep telling our stories. Let's keep up communication. Let's stay on our feet. All right? And if you get tired, all you got to do is just stretch. All right. That's the team building experience today. I'd like to see you all Wednesday. Everybody going to be there, besides if someone's already talked to me? If you're not there, your other job is to send people to go. All right?
All right.
Are we good?
Yes.
Are we good?
Yes.
Are we good?
Yes.
I can't hear everybody. I got to get some louder. Are we good?
Yes.
Sounds great. All right. Team building done. Let's go to open forum. Excuse me. You report that.
Okay, I have something for open forum. The budget committee actually came up with new requisites. Me, Theresia, Maxwell, and Joseph came up with this together. And I'm gonna pass them around, and basically it just tells what clubs should look at before they present a request, and it's for better communication.
Thinking on his feet. Well, in a chair on his feet.
So,
Mr. Treasurer, it's also on the back of the...
oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the back of your agenda.
That was our birthday gift to you.
Thank you.
All right, let's settle down.
So if anyone wants to change anything, add anything, just send me an email, and that's all I have to say. Joseph, Joseph and I discussed a few things, if you'd like to say something.
Well, guys, I'll tell you some of the issues we ran into in the budget committee, and something that we've all been working on to kind of come up with. People are given paperwork to fill out requests for the budget committee the year before they hear them. Well, the paperwork they use to fill out doesn't necessarily have any requirements or how they're going to be judged, or how are we going to make the decision. They have no idea. So when they show up to the budget committee, they have no idea what we're going to ask them. They have no idea how the decision is going to be made. There's no real way for them to be prepared. In addition to that, when we have people that are unhappy with the decision that we make, it's a lot harder, although Amir, by the way, has done an exquisite job of it, it's a lot harder to defend our point, this is why we made our decision, if we don't have a set criteria on how we make the decision. So what we're proposing is that we come up with a criteria, as you see the basics of, that we're going to make our decision on, and that we carry this over to the next year. So the people that are filling out their paperwork this year for their request know how they're going to be judged next year when the people actually hear it. So that's the crux of what we really have to say. So does that make sense? Anyone have a question about that?
Great job to both of you on that. Thank you. Thank you.
It was a help with Theresia and Maxwell also.
All of them. Great job to the budget committee.
I have a question about it.
Secretary.
Since we're having issues with the 2/3 majority and the quorum issue, then do we need to hold off on approving this until we get the actual definition that everyone's okay with as far as a 2/3 majority and what constitutes that?
That raises a question for me, actually. What exactly is it, and what's the appropriate level to enact this? So what is to make so that the budget committee next year has to use this, because if they don't, then it's useless. So what do we need to do? Do we need a bylaw, we need an amendment, do we need what?
Mindy,
Make it part of the paperwork. That's what, when I talked to the mayor about this in the first place, that was the idea behind this, is they take that cover sheet when they fill out the form, and that's for them, for their records. This is gonna be the backside of that form, so that they have this going with them, and we just make it part of the process that just stays on that paperwork year after year.
So what's the, make them so they have to do that though?
Well, by having it as part of the actual form, I'm the one who creates the form. It's always gonna be on there. And so we just make it a point that that says going forward.
And they have to use it.
Well, they have to. There's no other form they could use.
Thank you for bringing that up.
all right. So we good?
I didn't answer your question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I still didn't answer the
Yeah,
question.
I don't know, to be honest with you, I don't know. I guess as a budget committee, you want to sit down and look at the verbiage specific and then.
We'll hold off on the 2/3 majority
So
until
we
we
get
get that initial.
the whole thing worked out for everybody?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm
Put
really,
the right wording in there.
can I just say really quick how proud I am of you guys? I'm very proud of all of you right now. Very proud. And I don't say that enough, so. Great job. Great job. All right,
Max, one question.
Max.
I'm just gonna say, the two-thirds majority doesn't affect anything, because it just says, if it's brought here, we have a two-thirds majority approving the budget, then it goes through. Doesn't affect anything that it's gonna be brought forward. I mean, it's the way we have been doing it. All the budgets that have been passed that way, so it doesn't affect anything. There's no wording necessary.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
It doesn't affect anything, you don't have to.
It's the same way, it's the same as we have been doing it, the past budgets that we passed, it's been the same process, so it doesn't affect.
Right, I'm just saying, since the wording doesn't match what we're doing in the Constitution, I want to make sure that our 2/3 majority
No,
issue is.
Constitution,
squarely
this
across all
is
documents.
different from the Constitution. This is just, Constitution is something else different. You're confusing the Constitution and
But
this.
the Constitution does state the voting process for these things, so it does need to match word-wise.
Yeah. But, yeah, okay, but I mean, it's the same way it's worded in there.
Right, that's what I'm saying, so I think we won't have an issue until we get all the 2/3 wording worked out for everything, then it'll be incorporated across the board with all the documents.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I do.
All right, I'm sorry. I love this, really. Let's handle this next week, all right? All right, sounds good, then we'll go out and put the bang. All right, Alicia.
I'm doing the Photos of Santa thing, and I've got a sign-up sheet here. I know that there's a lot of sign-up spots, but just read through it, see when is a good time for you guys to help me. It's as detailed as I know how to make it, so if you have any questions, just.
And everybody has to sign up for something. If your name's not on it, you have to fill the wrath at the gavel. And I really have been waiting to use this on somebody, so. That was a joke.
I haven't
Never
decided.
mind.
It'll be.
But you must sign up for a time slot for Photos with Santa. You have to serve that time slot. It is mandatory, it's required. And I need that sheet back to Alicia today so that we know who can serve and who cannot. Josh,
Can us senators get a photo with Santa?
you can sit on his lap and get a photo with him.
What about Mr. Candy too?
You can also get the candy, and also, if anybody else wants to continue to help out with Photos with Santa, or anything else that we're doing for the December project, please let me know, and we can put you with Alicia. Anything else?
Just the.
One other thing, hey. Go on.
Instead of caroling, we're actually going to be doing a video for our troops. We're going to, just send a video wishing them a happy Merry Christmas, happy holidays, something like that anyway. That's gonna be done next week.
Be done next week, and you also get an email by the end of this week on it, so be ready for that, be prepared for that. Come looking in your dorky, geeky, awkward family Christmas sweater. Or what do you call them? Is it ugly Christmas sweater? Cheesy, there we go, yes.
This just popped in my head. I think maybe if we do that, can we maybe do like some kind of fundraising or some kind of maybe gift donation for the troops?
We can also put together the bags that we always have put together. I think we did, what did we put together bags for last year? Haiti, the Haiti relief. We can do the same for troops, and we can find out what they need. I know that they have lists out there that we could pull from somewhere, we can do that through service and fundraising. That's another reason why you have to come to service and fundraising, to get stuff like that done. But I want to commend Alicia on that, on your work for this month. I'm very proud of you. Teresia, we have a little gift for you. Golden Boys, we ready? Okay, well, I put my clothes upstairs already.
My clothes are over there.
John's clothes are over there, and Amir's are right there. So now, ladies and gentlemen, the Golden Boys have given clothes to the November clothes drive that we have going, benefiting
City Union Mission.
Thank you, that's what I was waiting on. So we've started. We started November project. So this means everybody else needs to go home and find what?
Clothing.
Clothing. And what else, Teresia?
Just new, like underwears, if you're willing to spend money.
Amir said he'd be more than happy to give his underwear.
Clothing. Yeah, or a towel.
Don't you ever say that. He's about to say thong. All right. Thank you, Teresa. We're really happy. We're proud of you as well. I can't say many times that I'm proud of people in my life. And so when I say something, I truly mean it. And I'm very proud of each and every one of you. And I want you to keep doing great things, keep doing good work, and keep going to your committees and letting your voice heard here on Senate. Rebecca.
I was thinking, the date for the Christmas party at my house has been decided. It's gonna be Saturday, December 11th. We're not positive about the time yet. Probably like 6 or 7, and it's gonna be kind of like a potluck and bring a white elephant gift as well. So
Would you rather do you want to do White Elephant or would you rather do Secret Santa?
we're gonna do white elephant. 'cause
Okay,
there's
just like it
multiple
for sure.
holidays.
Just making for sure.
Yeah.
Could you come up with the description, because we don't have much time to talk about it right now.
You just like bring
Could
like
you
a
come up
really
with-
terrible gift and
Something you do not want.
you don't want, you just want to get rid of it.
Okay. Could you just come up with the description and also send it out to everybody?
Yeah.
That'd be great. And then, Teresia?
Just don't forget the food drive.
All right.
Driving for harvesters too.
Yes.
Those, me and Amir have put up the boxes around school. You'll be able to see.
Please don't bring a butterball turkey to put in there. It does not work.
Please.
No, please don't. Okay, anything else from open forum? Executive board announcements? We'll start with the secretary, move our way down. Ms. Secretary, yield time over to you.
Yeah, just not much to report on new news. PR meeting Wednesday, 2 o'clock. COM 102.
Mr. Parliamentarian?
I don't have any announcements.
All right, we have what on Wednesday?
Town hall meeting.
What is it?
Town hall.
One more time?
Town hall.
What time?
Noon.
What time?
Noon.
What time? You're gonna bring what? That's right, you're gonna bring what?
People.
What?
People.
All right, and then we also have service fundraising on Friday, 2 to 3, excuse me, I'm sorry, I got a little winded there. And that is it for me, and also expect some emails from me this week.
Also on Wednesday, we have Interclub, and that'll be from 4 to 5, so I'm hoping to get some people from the actual town hall and try and get them to attend, because we need more attendance.
Yeah.
Budget committee has no new requests, but we'll meet briefly just to go over this and see if we want to change anything.
Great. Mindy, any announcements from you? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Anything else, really quickly? All right, I'll now take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Second? Second. Thank you, adjourned. Thank you all.